you want to do it too, just in case? And then he'll let us know. He gave you the 2 clap. Hope you can sync those.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oops.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, here we go. This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
Dr. Jeremy Kellenhofer, right?
Doctor?
Doctor.
No.
Wait, really?
What do you mean doctor?
Doctor. I mean, like, doctor. Like, didn't they ask you all kinds of medical questions in that survey?
Oh.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, right. I was like, I saw it on the page. It's like, I don't know what this is getting at.
So, this is us. We're actually recording right now.
Yep.
So, I'm looking through the camera to JP because he's right behind me.
Right. And mine's kind of off center a little bit. But
yeah.
We'll get it going.
Yeah. So, this is the second time. And it looks like I have 2 hours worth of recording. So, we should be good.
Yeah.
So, I think we'll get it all started.
I got about 3 is what it said. So.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, there is the introduction to our beautiful podcast. Door_disc_golf, night_owls_pod, and doordisc.com. Go on there. We had some great updates. I'm going to just say it right now that you can search not only by disc type, but by manufacturer. JP corrected me because I had it as manufacturer, and it's manufacturer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
If not. But you can search by both now.
Yep.
So every manufacturer's the only one I didn't get on was Birdie. Just forgot about it. Walked through the shop and I was logging everything up, closing off all the lights. I was sweeping the floor. And I saw the Birdies.
The Marvels, yeah.
The Marvels.
Well, you only have one mold of theirs.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But we only have 2 Gateway or 2 Mint, those type of things.
Sure.
But, so we do have Birdie. We have the Marvel. So we didn't get the Strike.
Yeah, Strike.
But it looks like a good disc. I really want to get it, but I'd rather spend the money on others.
And I think they have another one dropping pretty soon as well. I forgot what it's called, but I was on their Instagram the other day and they were teasing it out. So
nice.
Might be I don't even remember what it was. So.
I don't know. I didn't see it on the approved list. I looked.
Oh, okay.
So, well. You want to show that before we get started in here? Or do we want to make that part of the topic?
We make it, but whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I've not got mine yet. So I'm waiting.
You just ordered it.
A West Side Fairway, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
I think you can reveal it. But that is one of the best huck faces I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so it was Ben Karowski challenged us to buy a misprint disc, Dymax disc. And so he got this really pretty, like, black and white disc that's like checkerboard almost.
Yeah, almost like a poker token or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Poker chip.
And it looks cool because, like, if you were to spin the disc, it looks like one of those things that, like, it would make some kind of design that, like, spins, counterclockwise or whatever. And I got a Latitude 64 River, and this is what I got.
I love the chin to the and then the
yeah. I mean, I did ask for the most random, ridiculous thing they could put on there, and I kind of like the beach ball with look, but the face.
It's fantastic. The face is great. So, for those of you that are listening and not watching, there is a dude with glasses, like sunglasses.
Yeah.
Ultimate huck face. Like he's right in that, what we would call the power pocket, tongue out, chin to the chest, third or fourth chin sticking out there.
It looks like something that somebody took like as a form check.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or he just unsuspectingly had it taken.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was going to be like a birthday gift or something.
I don't know. It's beautiful, though. Whoever that man is needs to contact us because we need to give him credit for the beauty that is. I mean, it's like Mona Lisa. Well, Mona Kyle.
Yeah.
Hucka Kyle.
That's pretty good. I like that.
All right. I get good ones every once in a while. So send in your bags, your interview topics. If you want us to do dumb and ridiculous things, send it in because the
off season.
We're going to have off season coming. Yeah. I'm going to try to get out with these things. Well, this thing right here, and try to film some more, get some more up. Like I said, I'm back on Instagram. I'm starting to go back. struggling with going back on TikTok or not.
Yeah.
We have a decent following on TikTok. I just don't know if I want to get back on TikTok.
Oh,
like I don't want them to take all my data.
Yeah.
Have you read their privacy statement?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't really post anything on there that much anymore.
No. Even just having the app on your phone gives them like your contacts, your email, like
Yeah.
everything. And I'm like,
I just went on there. They're like, give us your phone number. I was like, no, I'm not giving you my phone number.
negative.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
So hopefully I can get back on there. I noticed the privacy and policy statement is different on the computer, the desktop.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm going to check it out and see if it's as intrusive. If it isn't, then I'll get back on there. I just feel bad. I'm missing such a great opportunity for TikTok and for, exposure and getting, fun, entertaining content out to a whole nother group of people and younger group of people. But, oh well, we'll get back to it. So,
Sure.
How do you feel about the XFL?
Did they start playing this season? Was it over the summer?
I thought they brought it back this year.
Okay. I know The Rock kind of like bought it up or whatever. I don't know if he's like sole owner or if he's like part owner.
Yeah, because Vince McMahon used to own it back in the day.
Back in the day. And there was, didn't the USFL also try to
USFL did
comeback?
start up, make a comeback. Arena's back as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
It is.
But XFL, it could even be the old one. Does it have to be the new one?
I mean, interesting comment or concept of just like, didn't they give out checks for like big hits or like?
Oh, yeah,
There's just
yeah.
like it was like incentive driven of like certain things would happen. I always liked the nicknames on the back instead of
Yes.
like your last name. It was like he hate me or like he's the most
exactly.
He was like the most iconic, I guess, guy because like he actually made it to the NFL. I forgot what his name was. And I think he made it to the Panthers, if I remember right, but I'm not positive.
Not Cam Newton.
No. I don't know. It's always interesting having different leagues, different rules, just to make things interesting. So you can draw in, if it's as good of a product as NFL, or if it's just one of those stopgaps in between college and like your chance to like actually play professionally, and then like someone scouts you and like you make it to the NFL or a practice squad. Who knows what could happen? So that's interesting to me.
Yeah, so I guess why I bring it up is I was looking at, what's our comparison to XFL in disc golf?
European tour?
No, because
No?
I
You don't
looked
think so?
at disc golf, or I looked at the XFL. Think about the things that they actually brought. So the things they actually brought were the cable cameras. They're all over the NFL now.
Okay, yeah.
They tried to bring the drama that the storytelling into XFL. I don't know if I was a huge fan. I mean, I was still watching the
more interested in the action on the field.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they had those little side stories where they pull Goldberg to the side,
Kind
or
of
they,
like Jomez does with like the vignettes before the rounds
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yep. So I think that, and then you look at the way that they mic'd up players, things like that. They just never did stuff like that. The NFL never did. And they had a good 2 seasons,
Like two
and then
and a
Vince
half.
shut it down.
Yeah.
I think.
They just couldn't. They weren't making money.
No,
It's the-
no. I mean, when you're putting, it's like the WNBA. Like when you're only putting 300 or 400 people in the stands, like you're not paying for these, these stadiums.
And they're being subsidized by the NBA. So
exactly.
That's just the way it goes.
So, what is that thing for disc golf? So I feel like disc golf needs an XFL. So I think USDGC, the reason why I say that is I think USDGC is kind of our XFL as of right now, because they're the ones that do all the weird, quirky stuff. They set up the spectacle of the event. And it's not just about playing disc golf. It's about, especially this year, from what I understand, the vending village was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I think they did some things that maybe MVP did a bit better with the stands, setting up the spectator areas, things like that. But I just feel that we need that XFL.
Okay.
We need that alternative league to push the boundaries so that the Pro Tour, or if the PDGA still continues to be the governing body, would start to take those ideas and run with them.
Yeah. Or if they can't just implement, try to. I feel like the Silver Series is a good idea to like start implementing ideas and just see if that you can adapt them there and then bring them to. I mean, it's weird too though because the Silver Series you're actually playing for. It's only a quarter of the points,
Right.
so it kind of matters. But if there's something else that you could apply it to, just to see how things run,
Right.
and then bring it up to the Elite Series.
Yeah, I like that, and I think that's like you said with the Silver Series. I think that's great, but I want that
Just another
absolute
league.
outlandish league.
Yeah.
You know, that one that's about the entertainment. It's about the, you know, I mean, we've talked about this many times
yeah.
on the podcast.
Like the one where you get to hit people when they're
hit
putting.
people. Exactly. exactly. Like you get 15 seconds to putt. If you haven't putted in 15 seconds, free game.
Yeah.
Someone's coming in from the sidelines.
Yep.
Spectators, it doesn't matter.
Goldberg.
Yeah, exactly.
With the spear.
Exactly. And then he's going to stand up and crack his beers like Austin, you know, Steve
Yeah.
Austin. So, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So I loved the XFL. I thought it was great. I thought it was short-lived, understandably so. I'm hoping the new rendition, if it has gone forward or it hasn't, I hope it survives.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till we get the XPDGA.
Extreme
Yeah,
PGA.
exactly.
Or maybe it's just the thing, like you just let guys like crack beers on the course and like just do ridiculous antics or who knows what it is.
Why not? And think about those celebrity matches that like
That's what
the
they need.
PGA does
Yeah.
and things like that. And
Well, that's what the Funky Farms.
yeah, they're trying to do it with the
Yeah.
Funky Farms, things like that. But why not just let the league go with that? You know, and it doesn't have to be the PDGA. It doesn't have to be the crown jewel of disc golf.
Right.
It doesn't have to be the thing that defines what disc golf is. I think it can be something that like doubles leagues, glow leagues,
Oh.
doubles tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, those type of things that like everybody loves doing them.
Sure.
Because they're unsanctioned. They get to drink and BS and, you know, razz people while they're playing.
Yeah.
PDGA sanctioned events, you can't do that. So I'd love to see it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, what'd you buy?
Well,
Thrower, hanger,
obviously,
or
I
flipper?
got the Dymax disc.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to throw this.
Why not? Is
You
it
know
too
what?
epic or are you
No.
gonna
I mean, I used to throw the river when I first kind of started playing, but like, the FD just took over
Yeah.
for the river. So maybe we could do a giveaway for
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
If somebody really wants an epic huck face disc, maybe we'll give it away.
We'll sign it. We'll
Yeah,
sign it.
why
Not
not?
that it means absolutely
Yeah.
anything at all, but
It's
we'll sign
kind
it.
of a funny keepsake.
Yeah.
But,
And we have a hot stamp. I can put a Door Disc Golf hot stamp on the back of it.
yeah. That we could definitely do that.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I also bought a Orbit Kristen Tatar St. Pro. So yeah, that's what I got along with this one. And that one, I like the St. Pro. Like it's a good disc, but I throw the or the Meta, the Zen, and I feel like it's close. The St. Pro is a little more stable than that, and then because it falls in between the Essence and kind of like a FD2 or like an Instinct kind of disc. I wanted to see it. It's a pretty stamp, everything. And the plastics, that gold line plastic, but it feels a little grippier than like her like Grace or like the Glory or the Kona Escapes. There's just something like it just felt a little grippier than normal.
Well, her
gold
Grace
line.
was in a different plastic. That was in the Supreme. I mean,
What
do they call it?
Royal. Yeah, that's
Royal Grand.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so that does make sense because
Yeah.
this was only a gold line, I think.
Yeah, and the other twos were Halo.
Yeah, the Orbit. Yeah,
The Orbits. Yeah. So I mean, I felt them like it's still really nice plastic.
it is.
It's still really nice plastic. Does it fly understable like the Kona Panis Escapes?
I don't know because
We haven't
it
thrown
rained
it.
a ton today, and
It did rain a ton.
so
yeah.
it didn't get to throw it at all.
Okay.
It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see.
I haven't thrown it yet because I used to really throw St. Pros quite a bit. So they live in a different league than like FDs for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're not in the same league.
No.
And I used to throw a tournament St. Pro for a long, long time. Loved it. It was a great disc. I've tried Saints before. They just don't mesh with me. but Saint Pros, I love them.
Yeah, I think the Saint is actually a little more understable than an Escape. I think it's like a Neg 2 one.
I found it just the opposite. I found that
really?
the Saint was more stable and
A little more
faster.
finish. Oh,
So it's faster and more stable, more finish.
yeah.
So, and I don't. It's weird how the pros, like the Pro line discs, there's only like 2 or 3 of
Well,
them.
yeah, it was Ballista Pro,
Yeah.
Saint Pro, and then they had the River Pro.
Yes, that's right.
And they were all slower.
Yes, all of them are slow.
Yeah, so that was weird.
Yeah,
they
because the
would bump
Ballista's a
up-
14, and then no, Ballista and Ballista Pro are both 13. No,
Oh, are they?
no, Ballista's a 14, and
Okay.
I don't remember.
And then the River, when I got a River Pro, and it said it was a 9, but really it was a 6.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that's a misprint disc I have at home.
Oh, that's kind of nice though.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That was like back in the day with all the West Side discs when their numberings, I mean their flight numbers were so off.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, and they completely redid all their flight numbers.
I do
when-
remember that. That
It was right
like
before they bought it or right after they bought it. One of the
I think it was
two.
right after.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Like, and I still have a lot of those old discs like that. So, but all right. So
That's it.
I bought the misprint.
Yep.
So it should be here probably tomorrow, next day, something like that. What else
that's
did I
back
buy?
here fast.
I bought. How come I can never remember what I buy? Because I know I bought something
Okay.
this time. Anyways, I'll get back to it if I remember. I'm not
Yeah.
going to waste any
I might
time.
pick up one of those moon or glow walkers
Oh, those do look
because
good.
I wanted to call it Paul.
Yeah, yeah. just Sharpie Paul right
Paul,
above it.
Yeah.
I did a reel that I haven't put out yet, but I did a reel with those, and it was
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
I felt like it was too soon, but
It's been years.
I used an audio.
Yeah. Okay.
It was pretty good. So, well, at least I hope it was. I always think things are great, and then they fall flat, and then the ones that I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just put it out, and
You
then
must have put
they
that
go nuts.
because I was online and you must have put one out. What was it like? All the discs. You're like this one. Something about Come At Me.
Oh yeah, come at me, bro. That was
Yeah.
the Judge is the greatest disc. The Truth is one of the most underrated mids.
Yeah.
yeah. And then the Lariat is the goat of control drivers. And then the Grim X, I just want to throw one.
Yeah.
Or the Grim, excuse me, just the
Grim.
Grim.
Okay.
I just want to throw one. That was just in there because I don't have like a driver anymore. Mm-hmm. So I put it in there because I was like, well, I really want to throw that. It's one and I want to try. I want to
Yeah.
throw. The Grim X, I think I'm more interested in throwing, but I don't want one of the soft ones. I want just regular K-line.
Yeah. Try one of the glow ones maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But they still have that flex to them, which I don't think that'll be a bad idea.
I mean, not as much as the K1 soft or
No.
the K1 soft. Yeah.
No, definitely not. So I think I'll probably pick up one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just haven't thrown a disc in weeks.
I-
now. Like, it's been crazy how long.
You know what's funny is I was thinking about this today. I have not thrown a disc that's currently in my bag since May.
Really?
I have not touched my regular bag.
Oh, you've
I've
just been throwing
I've just been
extras
throwing extras or like stuff I'm wanting to try out. And
Yeah.
I was looking at because we're getting ready in a couple of weeks for a tournament up here. And I was looking at my cart and I was like, I haven't touched you all summer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I should
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we got 5 people on the wait list. And of course, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Of my own tournament.
I still think he's going to let people in.
He asked if we had a couple other baskets that we could set up. So hopefully he'll
'Cause
open
I
it up. If
mean-
he doesn't, he doesn't. If he does, he does.
Last
Awesome.
year there was 21 holes.
Yeah, but we had to go cut the pasture, and we don't we don't have any of that time this year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure how we're gonna get the baskets out there this coming week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna have to take my after work Monday and go and take out as many as I can, and then Tuesday I might even just shut the shop down in the morning and just go put them.
Yeah.
Just open the shop at noon or something like that. So, but we'll get it taken care of. We'll get it set up. So, all right, here is the preview. So we're going over USDGC. We have the Pro Tour Championship play-in.
Yeah.
That we have the results. There's actually a finish now.
Well, yeah, for the plan.
Yeah, for the play-in. Yeah, and then we're going to talk about a players association. So this was brought up to us by one of our listeners, Logan Knapp.
Oh, nice.
I say
Okay.
Knapp is probably Nap, but
Yeah, right.
and then we're going to talk about contracts that have already started to happen for next year. So we have 2 long-term contracts that were signed. I'm happy for one, really disappointed about the other one.
Okay.
And then we'll do listener bag, and we have a random question.
Yep.
So there you go, and then we'll go over shop updates. So let's get started with let's go USDGC. So loved it. I was super stoked about it, especially since I found out that it was free by you last week.
Yeah, right. It's already built into the to our subscription fees.
Yeah, I was super happy. I can't say I'm super stoked about the outcome or the winners. I mean, I'm happy for them and everything. It just wasn't the people I wanted to win.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But so let's go over the winners real quick. I'll go over men. You go over women.
Okay.
Okay. So Gannon Burr, youngest winner of USDGC ever.
Yeah.
At this point, fantastic.
That's
17
awesome.
years old.
Yeah, 17.
Great. So, and he played his first, was 7 years ago he played his first?
Yeah, that's what I had
USDGC?
heard. Yeah,
That's incredible.
it is.
So at 10 years old, he played his first USDGC. Does that sound right? Or the first
Jun-
time he played at USDGC juniors, right?
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean,
2-time winner, I believe.
yeah, I think he won
Yeah.
as a junior and now. So, and then Nicholas Antila came in second, Heimberg came in third, and Paul Macbeth in fourth. So good for Paul P. McBee. Like, he was just slightly off
Yeah.
on everything. I mean,
Yeah.
everything I was watching, like, I think he had one hot round.
Yeah,
And
he did.
one
Yeah.
pretty nasty. Well, when I say
Oh, man,
nasty,
he-
like
Well, I forgot what hole it was, but just took us like,
triple bogey. I
Yeah, triple bogey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the water, and then just didn't recover from that.
Yeah, it went bad. I mean, it wasn't what we would expect of Paul Macbeth. Played leaps and bounds above what I could ever play and what anybody else could ever play. But it was unfortunate. I really wanted to see him kind of cap off the season on just kind of clinch Player of the Year, do all those type of things.
Well, I mean,
And-
he's still above Ricky, by 60 some points for Player of the Year.
yeah.
So that
That can be so debated though with the number of wins, the scale of the wins.
Yeah, it
You know,
can.
like I think I've never been. I mean, I want to see Paul Macbeth win Player of the Year just because I'm a fanboy.
Yeah.
But Ricky's right there. Like, and Simon is not too far behind him. I mean, I think
Just
he's
not
supposed
as
to be
consistent.
7th. Yeah, he's just not as consistent. He didn't play as many tournaments.
Yeah, he skipped the first 2 or 3, I think, of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he had a couple finishes in like the 50s or the 30s, and then
Yeah.
he played well in other tournaments and won 4. It's like
Right.
one of those weird
and he,
situations.
the USDGC, he stunk.
Yeah, he didn't play
like
well.
38th or
30-something,
something
yeah.
like that. I mean, Brody Smith was 27th.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, he finished actually pretty well.
Oh.
So, and then Wysocki was 7th.
Yeah.
So, kind of notables in that race.
Yeah, but I mean, Ricky has never finished outside the top 10 at USDGC? Is that right? Like recently?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never
that's how it
really.
goes.
Yeah, because Paul Macbeth had that one year where he hurt his ankle and he was like 50 something.
Yep.
Or no, he didn't even finish, did he? He was in 50 something and then he DNF'd.
I think that's right.
Yeah, and it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2 or
19?
3. Yeah.
Or 18.
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to go over.
All right. Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship Challenge? I forgot what.
Yeah, can we take a break before you go over that and say, I still just don't understand it. Why the PDGA is holding this aside as not a major?
Oh, right. It's a X/A tier.
Yeah.
I don't understand that either.
Why-
It's so
why?
ridiculous.
It just
It's got the feel of it.
yeah, I mean everything.
Everything.
It parallels USDGC.
Yeah.
Just call it WUSGGC.
Right. Or Throw Pink
Or
they can
throw
still-
pink USDGC or
something.
Or even just keep it as throw pink and it's a major.
Major.
I just don't understand why it is not a major.
I don't either, because they're getting decent money for it too. Like everything,
Right.
the qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's. I mean,
And if it wasn't for what was it, disc golf, U.S. Disc Golf Association or something like that, or U.S. Disc Golf. Who's the people that put on USDGC? They have that real close tie to Innova. Anyways,
something
so the people that put on USDGC, I mean, they throw pink and Innova's back it, and
Yeah.
So I mean, why is it? They're exactly the same. Just
I know.
PDGA. Seriously, like,
Or yeah,
man, I just
crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the
Yeah.
Players Association.
All right. So winning it, Katrina Allen. Second, Kristen Tatar. Third, Henna Blomroos. And fourth, Missy Gannon.
The cannon. So Tatar keeps her podium,
Yeah.
her perfect podium year.
And she fell off. She
had a pretty
playing
bad
well,
round.
and then she was it bogey double, triple or something. Like
Yeah.
she lost a ton of strokes, but then battled back the next two. I think it was the second round that she played bad.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, all of a sudden, not played well enough that I don't think she was going to catch Katrina because there's still like a pretty good gap between them. But yeah, they played.
Man, it's incredible to me that she can. I mean, we talk about her the same way that we talk about Paul, and we used to talk about Paige.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I got something to say about that.
and she's like bad tournament second.
Yeah, right.
Like seriously, and what? 3 strokes back, 2 strokes back,
Two strokes back, I
two
think.
strokes
Yeah.
back. Like awesome.
Right.
And Katrina Allen, like, I'm super happy for her. Like, she didn't have an amazing season.
No.
She didn't have any. I mean, she had one notable win this year.
Vegas.
Oh,
and Jonesboro.
Oh,
no, not Jonesboro. Idlewild.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So she had 2 notable wins. And outside of that, she really just kind of wasn't in the picture. I mean, she just played right under the radar. She wasn't on lead card too often. I mean, she was there, here and there, but not to Katrina standards.
I had heard that in between, this and Worlds. Goodness, couldn't think there for a second. She went out and like kind of worked on her drive. Like her and Austin just went out and got back to kind of getting settled into things, and she came feeling good and vibed with the course, and everything worked out for her.
She is not one that is shy of putting in the work. I mean, when we were out at Vegas, we were there early one day because I think we were getting in practice or something like that. God, why were we there so early? But like the only one there. Oh, it was a practice day. And like one of the first days it was open for practice, we got up and said, we're going to go early because we want to get this practice in and beat the crowds because we're pretty familiar with it. And she's basically the only female there, like putt. And then we were there late that day, I think it was the same day. And we look over and we're goofing around on hole 1 on like factory course or something like that. And she's just over on the 18th hole, putt of a infinite. I think he was on the and just putt, like just incredible. Always putting in work.
Yeah, I mean she gets up early. I mean, I think it used to be when the ladies had flipped the rounds, she would stay up later and like work out. But now because the rounds are earlier, she likes to get up before everybody else is up, work out, eat, putt. And then she'll work out after, and then she'll do stuff, even after rounds or whatever.
Yeah. And that's great because tournament prep, I mean, think about it. How often do we go out and play a casual round right smack dab in the morning, the first thing we do?
Well, never. What
we do is we get up, we like start our motion of the day, have our coffee, do whatever it is, play with the kids, go to work, and then we go play.
Yeah.
Why not mimic that during tournaments,
Well, that's when your body's primed, is later in the afternoons to like do stuff. Really.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you can jumpstart that, if you have to tee off in the morning at 9:30, just get up a little bit earlier and start moving around, start getting everything so you're not tight,
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world to do is like, I'm finally hitting my stride 7 holes in.
Yeah, right.
That sucks.
That does.
When you put yourself in a hole in a tournament and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, now I'm putting, now I'm doing all these things. Like I do that too often.
It's often. Like 2-round tournaments. You're like, oh, that first round was okay, but the second round's where I'm really going to pick it up.
I killed it. Second round, yeah.
Always.
So congratulations, Katrina Allen. It's 2-time, right? 2-time world?
Yes, I believe so.
Or U.S. champion?
Yeah.
Or throw pink.
Throw pink. So, so maybe this isn't the 2-time throw pink champion. I don't know.
I don't know. I think she's won it twice because I think this is the 4th year it's ran.
Yeah, that could be.
I think it is.
Yeah.
So
how'd you like? Did you see it at all? Did you watch much of the women's?
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end, I know they hand out like the nice glass trophy and everything, but they just like handed her a shirt. They did the same thing with Gannon though. Like I don't remember who handed him. It's a nice yellow shirt that said USDGC on it and everything. And it's like, oh, that's a great feeling to have once again.
Yeah. I see. I like the idea of if that's the same thing they do every year. I kind of like the idea of giving out something like that to keep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the jackets. You know? But let's do something cooler than a T-shirt.
Well, no, but like the glass like vase or whatever
Yeah,
they get
that-
is super cool.
that is
That
cool.
is really cool.
Yeah. Let's talk about the flack that Brody Smith is getting about his attire.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about this.
Oh yeah, he's getting a lot of flack about his attire, like why he's just dressing in like athletic shorts and shirt.
Oh,
Like
okay. Kind of like Chandler Kramer was getting flack for him as well.
Yep.
I mean, you're allowed to wear like jersey style shirts, like those athletic like SPF blocking
Right.
jerseys and stuff.
It has to be athletic apparel, is what it
Yes,
says in
right.
PDGA. So Brody Smith isn't doing anything wrong. I think where he's getting the flack is that he started off saying we should look more professional. You
Yes.
should do that, and
Right.
he was pretty adamant about it.
He was.
And he's changed his mind. I mean, everybody can change their mind. We all
Yeah.
do it. But man, he's getting blasted right now on Twitter. It's kind of funny. I love like Twitter is kind of my new addiction. I don't post much. Like
Yeah.
I post for the
But it's
shop
just
and
fun
things.
to
But it's
read.
just fun to read, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun. People take stuff way too seriously, or I take it too seriously, and they're just having fun. One of
Yeah.
the two. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with flipping your stance on things. Maybe you would see him go out there and maybe he had to have a polo or, like a foundation shirt like he's wearing. But
Yeah.
comfort, if you're not comfortable playing in what you're wearing,
Yeah.
that can, like, anything restricting, I kind of hate.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
I never give two thoughts about my clothing.
No, I have.
But I wear polos on a daily basis just due to my occupation.
Yeah.
I always have a polo on. So for me to go out on a disc golf course on a polo, like who cares?
Right.
Like, I mean, my daily attire is some sort of athletic looking, or proper looking athletic stretchy type, like khaki pant or, and a polo, like, or shorts, and some sort of like they're always stretchy. They're always those like nice breathable material. Like, so for me to jump out on the course, it's like I'm going to work, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't think about it at all, but I know a lot of people like they're jeans and t-shirt people.
Yeah.
And for them to put on a polo and some like nice shorts or something like that, like it's a big deal for them.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I mean, I definitely will play in different. Well, I like wearing jeans and a t-shirt, so that's kind of me sometimes,
too.
like just comfortable for work. But I mean, I have like stretchier, like golf kind of pants and shorts and things that I'll play disc golf in because I know they stretch and like they're breathable and they're nice. So yeah.
I found these pants for $19 and they're at Walmart. Everybody's going to go out and buy them now, and I'm not going to be able to find them. But they're these beautiful, made by Wrangler.
Okay.
Like, they're super cheap. They fall apart within like one season, but they're $19. And they're like that nice stretchy material. They got pockets where the pockets need to be, and the pockets are deep enough, like, and the zippers work. So like I love them. I'll go out and buy like 2 or 3 pair in the beginning of every season, like winter season.
Yeah.
And I wear those basically until I can wear shorts again. And they're like, I used to wear Levi's, and Levi just changes their styles so often. Like the
They have
same
too many numbers.
Well, and that's the same number. Like I used to be like the 569s.
Okay.
Then they redo the 569, so it's not a 569 anymore. Now the 569 is a 572, and you're like, come
Okay.
on, like, so you get, and you don't find that out until you buy a pair. Usually I just walk in and it's like, oh, it's my size, my length. I'll
I
just
had
buy
that
it.
happen one time when what was it? The store downtown Sturgeon Bay. I forgot what it was. Yonkers, yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 of the exact same pairs, like same number, like 501 or 510, whatever it was.
Yep.
Get home, one feels great. The other one, I like had to break in, and I was like, God, these suck. But they're the same thing. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
so
different. It's like runs of discs. You're
Yes.
like, oh, this run's great, and then next one you get, it's like, oh no.
it's like Enema,
Yeah.
But yeah, but since I found stretchy material, man, I just like that's my game. That's
Yeah.
that's my jam for sure. Like I found the stretchy jeans. I don't know if they're not like jeggings. They're
I know
like
what you're talking about.
true Levi's, but they're stretchy.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so nice. They're so nice. But I can't justify spending $50 on a pair of jeans. Anyway,
I know it's getting too ridiculous.
it's getting crazy. So yeah, so USDGC in Throw Peak. So Pro Tour Championship. It was played today. The play-in was played today.
Yeah.
And I would give anybody 10 guesses to see who won it. And I doubt out of the 10 guesses, they would guess who won it.
Well, it'd be hard because they got to guess 2 people.
Well, yeah, but no, but there was still a winner of that play-in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he still won. Like Jeremy
Yeah.
Colling took it. Like big germ. And who would guess that out of all those players that are there?
That's true.
You had Albert Tam, you had Presnell,
Presnell.
like
Yeah.
Thomas Gilbert, who was in second, so
Yeah.
he got the second spot.
I think Chandler Kramer.
Was there.
And then there's Jake Kiebenheimer. I think there was 6.
Yeah. But I mean, to say, well, I guess they would get it after 10 guesses. So. But I thought it was pretty awesome to see all that. So good for Jeremy Colling and Thomas Gilbert. So they will go on to the next round.
Yep. And then Jessica Weiss and Haley King made it in for the women. And I think it was
why didn't I write that?
Jen Allen, Hannah Blomroos, Macy Valadiaz, and I forgot who the fourth was. But yeah. And Haley was down. She was at like +3 at one point, or +2. And I was like, oh, haven't seen Haley in a while. But maybe, like, she lives down there now, so maybe she plays there quite often.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But she ended up finishing at -3.
Which is
for
great.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
and
great.
I think Jessica Weiss finished at +1.
Yep. Yeah, Colling actually had a pretty commanding win. He was even, and then Gilbert was 3, and then there was 5. Sorry. There was 5, and I think Tam and
we
Presnell were 5 over both.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
That is.
So good for him. It just goes to show you, like, I think we said it maybe a month ago or so, that like people don't realize how good Germ is. Like,
right.
Germ is a great player.
Yeah.
Great player, but I think he's just more known for his personality now.
Yeah, I think so.
He's kind of overshadowed.
Because even like we were talking about a little bit, like he was trying to figure out how he can make it in. Like we were talking about that episode of Nick and Matt show where like he's like, well, this is the like however the play in and points he needed and everything.
And Statmando went over and was like, yeah, you can get in now. And he's like, really?
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I guess I'll be playing in that now.
Yeah. And now he's guaranteed money.
Yeah, exactly.
So both those guys played into the first round, so they're both guaranteed, I think, $2,500.
Yeah, that's great.
That is.
That's great. Yeah, they didn't get any. Well, did Germ get anything for winning the play-in?
I don't know if they got anything for winning.
Okay,
but definitely for making it.
Yeah. All right. So good for them. Super happy. Can't wait for that to start, and that's this weekend.
It is.
Right?
Yep. Play-in started today. I think first round's
Thursday tomorrow.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, I know what I was going to ask you about.
Oh.
So we were talking about Paige before. So Paige had her press conference yesterday.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I
didn't see much of it, but
did she call us out and say we're horrible people?
No. But she was asked about if she considers herself the best player in the world anymore. And she said no, she does not consider herself the best player in the world. So I'm wondering
who she thinks is the best player.
Right. I think she would admit Kristen.
You think so?
I don't remember if she said Kristen. She might have said Kristen's playing really well right now. Yeah, I don't like. That's an interesting.
Where is her mind at?
Yeah, I don't know. Cause like, are you? Yeah, it just seems like not. Because like we talked about before about her saying she just doesn't feel as competitive, doesn't have that competitive fire, and then all of a sudden she's coming out and like, oh yeah, I want to win this, and like, played well.
Is she trying to play the humble card and just not doing it effectively, or is it? I don't know. Like the Paige Pierce that I have always known and come to understand or come to appreciate is that win at all costs. I'm the best. That ego that drives her to be who she was and is. And for her to lose that, I think takes away her competitive advantage.
Right.
Because that means she's not going to be out there putting when she needs to putt. She's not going to be out there throwing when she needs to throw. She's not going to be out there making up shots. She's just not going to be working on that game. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Maybe she's got wedding on the mind or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's outside distractions or what, or if she just sees the writing on the wall and like people are just kind of passing her up.
Maybe. Because I mean, her era of dominance came at a time where the competition in the FPO realm is not what it is now. And not to take anything away from any FPO player that has ever played the game, but the competition over the last 4 to 5 years has balled up.
Yeah.
There's not as big of gaps as there used to be. So maybe that's the case.
Maybe.
Maybe she feels defeated.
Could be. I mean, if you're on the pedestal and you get knocked off, what does that do to you? It's like it's hard to climb back to that position of feeling dominant and like that work. Like you work to maintain that position, and once you get knocked down, you're like, oh man, I worked so hard for this.
Yeah.
Now you got to work even harder to get back to where you're at.
The true agony of it all comes from the fact that Fierce just came out.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the whole dichotomy. What's the appropriate word for it? But that's that whole like script flip that.
Someone even pointed out, like the moment at Champions Cup talking about her dad, like that's like the point that like all of a sudden things like flipped almost.
Okay.
I don't know if that's it or like the documentary thing.
Well, when she was talking about her dad, that was when she kind of everything started coming out about her. I'm gonna offend somebody. Her life choice.
Right.
And I think I don't know. I mean, maybe all of this stuff is just balling up in her life. I mean,
Could be.
Life changes are hard.
They are.
At any point that it happens, and they are all different on different scales for everybody. I've gone through them, like I'm sure you've gone through them, and I go through them on a cyclical basis, and it's not like set your calendar to it, but there are things in every year that I deal with emotionally that kind of put me to the sideline for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, it's just figuring out big choices. My kid's going through something, or my wife's going through something, one of my family members, or like this business deal didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or whatever it may be. And then you get into a funk. But my mentality says, how can I fix this? How can I be better? And that's what I go forward with. Like I just recently kind of came out of a little funk, and it was just basically the business workings, not living up to expectations. You know what? Get over it. Let's figure this out. How can I make it better? That's it.
Sure.
And now I'm working through those processes, So hopefully for her in that competitive realm, she gets through that.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I may not be the biggest fan of Paige Pierce, but I'm a fan of Paige Pierce in disc golf.
Right. Like you want to see her be competitive.
I want to see her be competitive. I want to see her be successful. That doesn't mean I have to hang out with her. I have to hold her hand. I have to go skipping down the beach with her. That just means that I want to see her be successful because I think she's good for the sport. And there's a lot of personalities that are that way. Why am I on Paige Pierce?
I don't know.
You brought it up. You did it.
I did, yeah. Okay. Well, no, because it was just something that I remember from.
I think it's relevant, yeah. So anyways, with that being said, let's talk about a players' association. So this was brought up in regards specifically to the Nikko thing, but I like the merit of the conversation. So I'm trying to put my phone somewhere where it doesn't keep making noise because I get so many things.
If you flip your phone over, isn't it supposed to like silent the...
I don't think I have that.
Oh, okay.
Because it still goes bzz, bzz.
Yeah.
So the Players Association was brought up specifically for the Nikko reduction in his penalty or suspension. There you go.
Suspension, yeah.
So it was reduced by 3 months down to 6. Neither here nor there. Like it doesn't flutter my eyelashes in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't make a difference in my life. I'm super happy that he can come back for the full season next year, and only time will tell whether he has made appropriate decisions and choices to make his interactions with individuals that better.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Don't know anything else, because I don't know the guy. But also, I thought about like the survey.
Yeah.
I thought about rules choices. I thought about the dealings with the Pro Tour. I thought about just kind of all these big changes that have been happening. So interim presidents, things like that.
Yeah.
What the Pro Tour or what the PDGA's official obligations are to the pro players. What the PDGA should or should not be doing that crosses the boundaries of pro and am, as far as making rule sets and things like that.
Sure.
Or should they not be regulating? So with all of that being said, a players association How do you feel about something like that? Now, I don't know if I call it a union. I call it something more of like a true players association, like the NFL or, baseball. I think baseball is probably more closer to a union. But, I think we talked about it when we very first started the podcast.
Yeah, I remember briefly talking about it.
Like whether it's the right time or right place.
Yeah.
What do you think now?
I think dealing specifically with the Nikko situation, players union could definitely be something good because they can go in, they can negotiate, they can bring up, they can they can argue as to like length and severity of everything. Yep. So I think that's a good thing to have a players association. And like we brought up with football and other sports, they're under contract. They're not under the only thing they're getting from the PDGA is the tour card, right? And that's neither here nor there, or whatever that doesn't mean anything. I mean, they're working for themselves.
And I don't even think I think that's from the Pro Tour. I don't think that's from the PDGA.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know the details.
I don't really either. But like we said with the NFL, it's different because these teams are under contract with their, the players are under contract with their teams, and so that goes as far as
and they're not even
on.
Oh, you're talking about other pro sports,
right? Yeah. I'm talking about other pro sports right now. Like they're under obligation to have practice time, to go in and watch film and everything, and so the players' association's always trying to negotiate. Okay, we're spending this much time on practice. What can happen in practice? Those types of things, so the players aren't getting injured, taken advantage of, whatever. Now, if players were under contract with the Pro Tour, saying, okay, these are the obligations that we have on tour that we'd like you to go through, the players' association would then go in, negotiate terms with the Pro Tour. It's like, hey, we'd like to see the FPO do this or MPO do that. So it's an interesting avenue to go down. The survey part of it, it was sent out to all PDGA members over 18. So dealing with if there was a players association, I think that they could argue whether they would have to answer the survey or not, or what questions would be suitable for answering. But coming to us as amateurs, being that it was sent out, I mean, we have no obligation to answer that. We could or not. So, it's one of those.
It was just if you would like to. So no one was forced to answer it.
No one was forced to answer.
So I think, the mountain that is the molehill, I think we've said that before. I think it's definitely being blown out of proportion by folks like you and me,
right?
Because it's good talking points for us. I still think it's a ridiculous survey. I think it was useless, and we don't have PhDs next to our names. We don't have MDs.
What are you talking about? You called me Dr. Kellenhoff.
I did. It's honorary.
Yeah, right.
Just for this podcast.
Yep. Darn.
And this one alone.
After this, yeah.
Just this episode. So we don't have the credentials to actually even speak on this subject.
Exactly.
So what does our opinion truly matter? And I think that's some of the stuff that can be alleviated by a players association.
Yes.
I think the stuff you brought up, I think that's exactly why a players association can never happen. In the very beginning, is the fact that they're not playing for the PDGA.
Right.
The PDGA is the governing body. That's it. They don't have contracts. Manufacturers don't have contracts. Just like every team in the NFL has a contract with the NFL.
Yeah.
Every team in the NBA has a contract with the NBA.
Yeah.
Every team, on and on. That just simply is not the case. And even in golf, all the players on the association carry a card, which is a contract with the PGA. So for them to have some sort of players union or players association, how?
Yeah.
And who are you going to be talking to or with?
Well, here's the funny thing is, even on tour right now, even though there isn't an association, all the players talk together about what's good for them and everything. So there's no official figurehead as far as like a president or anything, but there's definitely people that are more vocal that talk up.
That can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Right.
I think if you have a rational spokesperson and a rational organization and not a squawk box, to understand what I'm saying there, like if you don't if you don't have that person that can bring some rationale to a conversation like that, it's very easy to say, I'm worth more money. Absolutely, me too. Me too, me too,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take money if I can get it. Like if I really wish I would have still had student loan debt. Like, that's fantastic because I would have taken it.
Yeah.
Now, for something like that, like I think that's where Players Association is fantastic.
Yeah.
You
like
know-
if they were say, I mean, I was gonna say like winnings, like winnings if they can negotiate, but that's kind of hard because they're dealing with sponsors and stuff like that. And then even so there's a like NBA for instance, there's always like a player's president, and then you maybe have like two other people from the NBA like that are on like a kind of like a committee or board, and then you even have like an outside person brought in, someone like a lawyer or someone like that has dealt with stuff that oversees the Players Association along with the player president.
Right.
Get in on that.
And the PDGA has a players committee. But how can a players committee hold the PDGA responsible when the players committee is part of the PDGA and the PDGA sets their meetings and
Yeah.
they can't.
Yeah.
They can't. All they have to do is say, well, too bad.
Right.
Or you don't meet a quorum or whatever. You need to have that outside influence. So I think there is reasons to see it happen. The logistics of it happening, man, how?
Yeah.
How? The only way how is just to do it.
Right.
Plain and simple. I mean, but
It'd be interesting to see it form and then what happens after that.
right.
Yeah.
And there are, disc golf is still so young and so new that there are alliances with manufacturers that every manufacturer is not going to see the same worth out of changing certain things. So,
Yeah.
for their players to be in this association, like you can guarantee Innova could care less, what the players want. I can't say that. You can guarantee that Innova has such a stranglehold on the USDGC that if the players say we don't want it to be an Innova, major, we want it to go out and whatever it may be, they want to see it change. Innova's gonna be like, And if any of you guys say that, you're done.
All right.
So in right, like if the DDO, same thing. I'm sure DDO would do the same thing. Like Dynamic Disc would probably say the same thing.
Sure.
Like if any of you players say that, don't know that for certain, just speculation, but they got to protect their own, butts in that regard. So, anything else to say about that?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Contracts. So we're already in contract season.
Right. Like
I feel like
holy
it
cow.
started early.
It did.
Started early because we are October 12th is when we're recording this. And both contracts. So Kyle Klein's was Monday,
Yep.
right? Which was the 10th,
Yep.
11th, 10th.
10th.
And then Calvin Heimberg.
Yep. Today.
So Kyle Klein reportedly 6 figures for the next 4 years.
Oh, wow.
With Discmania.
Yeah.
They haven't released details yet. Supposedly they are going to.
Okay.
And that's awesome.
That is.
Super excited for him. Like, I have nothing but warm fuzzies for him. Calvin, on the other hand.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed. Why Innova? Calvin.
I don't know. Apparently he feels like he's being treated well.
I guess
They
so.
must have honored, offered him something pretty decent.
Yeah, so the rumblings, because of course Innova doesn't do anything in the open and clear and, so the rumblings are 125 a year,
Okay.
which is good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Calvin Heimberg good.
That seems a little low.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because whether Calvin Heimberg wins, he's always in the hunt.
Oh, yeah.
And he is very consistently kind of one of those guys that you walk up to a spectator, do you know Calvin Heimberg? Or,
Oh, yeah.
like, who's one of your funniest guys in the, all that stuff. Like, he's a personality. He garners attention just because of who he is.
Right.
And, whether he's dry and, people, there was that one thing, maybe it was at MVP where they did the whole, like, who's the funniest guy, and they asked all the pros.
Yeah.
Like Calvin Heiberg was like, him and Zach Milton were the two that everybody just loved, you know, and thought were hilarious. So people might argue that play is what gets you money. I have one word: Kona.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but you know.
I mean, I think we were kind of looking at things last week or the week before, and I just mentioned, you know, it was last week, I think, because we were looking at her year last year, and I was just like looking at finishes, and then compared to this year, just fell off. Like, you go through all the tournaments, you go side by side, and you're like, worst finish than last year, worst finish than last year. Worst, you know, it's just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe she's distracted. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and she's very open about what she's going through. There's a lot of mental things that are going through, and I'm not faulting her for that, but I think that's a side note. I really think she was initially brought on to Dee Dee's team because of her social media.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because other than maybe 2 notable wins, Waco and
there
was a one big
All-Star
win.
event.
Oh, the All-Star event. Yeah. Other than those 2, the very first All-Star event, right?
Last year.
Was it last year that
I
she
believe,
won it?
yeah.
2 years ago, I thought.
Maybe it's 2 years ago.
Because Gannon won it last year, I thought.
Oh, maybe she did.
Yeah. So, nevertheless.
Yeah. And
outside of that.
I mean, but last year she had so many top 10 finishes. She had a lot. And then a couple top 20s, I think 2 or 3 out of top 20. Yeah. But yeah, just a whole different year.
But to garner that type of contract, you know, they might be kicking themselves. Maybe not. Maybe they're bringing in but I'll tell you what, like, she's not moving discs in our shop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, her name doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
To anybody. And so who knows? Who knows? You know, like, I really honestly think they made that decision. And it's always a gamble. I mean, even Rick, it's a gamble to put that type of money out there because you just never know what's going to happen that coming year. But with with Kona, I think it was even more so because she had maybe one decent season, not a great season, good season, to go off of, and that was it. You know, and so I think with, you know, like, how do we get onto Kona? Oh, about Calvin and and what his worth is. So, so anyways, at 125 with Calvin, I think that Calvin is worth much more than that. And the rumblings are the 125, and the rumblings also say that there were up to 2 other people that were 2 other manufacturers that were trying to.
Okay. And I mean, it's always been rumblings of him going to DD.
Right.
I mean, but I think that's when, like, Eric Oakley was still there because they're really close friends.
Yeah, him and Zach.
Yeah,
those 2. So, and Zach and him are still real good friends, and I think Clemens and him are still pretty good friends.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
5 years is an awfully long time.
Long time.
It's not the 10-year Paul contract, but like you think of this day and age, it seems pretty long.
But keep in mind, Calvin's like 21, 22.
I don't know how old he is.
He's not that old. I mean, he just graduated college.
Maybe.
Not this past Vegas, but the Vegas before he just graduated college. So, I mean, he's 2 years out of college, maybe 24.
Yeah, that could be.
So, 5 years, he's 29.
Yeah.
He's still got 10 years worth of play left.
Oh, yeah, easily.
So, hopefully he's worth more. But, man, to be locked up for that many. But who knows? Maybe it's another handshake deal and get out of it without any issues. So,
because that's the crazy thing is, with Innova, it's always been like 1 year, and then now 5. It's like, okay, you're really putting your coins that he's gonna be consistent. He's gonna sell discs and everything.
Yeah.
Even the Haley King, like, we don't know what's going on with her after this year. We haven't seen her play a whole lot.
No, and she's done decent.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put her on the scale of Calvin.
She's got USWD, women's.
Yeah.
So,
but she's consistently not up in the top like Calvin is.
Right.
I mean, Calvin's been here or there, but I would say if you compared both of their seasons, and I can't say the statistic, you just have a feeling.
Right.
Feels like Calvin is having a better year than Haley.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah,
But,
it's
man, it's crazy that it started this early.
yeah.
Like usually you don't hear rumblings till January.
Mm-hmm.
But now maybe with the way the season's going, with like having the Silver Series lead into the following season, we're going to see these contracts coming up sooner.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because they'll be holding points through. So, yeah, I think it will change the dynamic. I think the contracts will be probably a little more fluid this year. I think they're going to be moving a lot more. I mean, I think we're still going to see the bulk of them come in that December, January time period. But, I'm just excited to see the shakeup. Like, there's two already that I was thinking about was Klein and Heimberg when we talked about it earlier, that we thought both of their contracts were coming up due.
Yeah.
And they both locked in, unfortunately.
I feel like Calvin just like locked in not that recently. Like I thought he signed an extension. Maybe it was only a 1 year thing because like there was talks of him last year. I thought 2 years
he
ago?
was one that was off the books last year.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he had a 2 year with him.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Because that was the grumblings of. That was
DD.
before Oakley left,
Yes.
with
Yep.
DD.
Okay.
And Oakley's only been gone from DD for one season.
Yep, that's true.
So you think about it that way.
Yeah.
It seems like everything's just so much longer.
I know.
I think 2020 did something to my like timeline. It's weird. But happy for both of them. I mean, both of them I think deserve having long-term good contracts. And I think they both got it. And if Calvin wasn't happy with that contract, he wouldn't have taken it.
Oh yeah. Right.
So good for him. I'm super happy for him. Super happy for him.
And I think I'm not positive. I think Kyle and Calvin both are with Beacon Sports. Same management group.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're working overtime on him.
Yeah.
So, and that's great. And I would take half of that to play disc golf.
Yeah, right.
So just so you know,
Yeah.
anyone out there, just so. All right, we'll get into lister bag analysis and then random question. Then we'll get going because we are pushing on an hour already. So this will be a long upload. Okay, here we go. So we have from Caleb Lanners. Sounds right. By the way, you were correct about the name Stagier.
Yeah.
You were correct.
Oh.
He told me.
Yeah.
I was like disappointed. I was like, oh, like great email. And I was like, yeah, by the way, JP was right. I was like, whatever. Yeah.
Small victories.
Yeah, exactly. Take them where you can get them.
Yep.
All right. So he says, sent in a few questions, but here's the bag analysis. So here it is. So putter, he has a ground ruin. Don't know what that is. I should have looked it up before we started this.
I wonder if that's a Viking disc.
It might be.
I don't know.
It might even be a infinite mold. It sounds like something in that realm. I'll look it up while you go through the next one.
Sure.
Oh, hold on. I'll do the putters. So a K1 and a K1 Softberg, both for approaches.
Okay.
And then a Eclipse Proxy, and that's for his flip overs. And then he has zones. So he has a Z Flex, and a Crystal Flex zone. And that's all for shorter drives inside 250.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can go ahead.
Let's see. He's got a VIP Tursus for
good mid
turnover mid-range shot, a Neutron Hex, neutral mid, go-to in the woods or tight gaps. And then looks like he gets into fairways. He's got a Z Stalker, dead straight, 7-speed. Neutron Lift, understable, long-range fairway. He's got a Big Germ Thunderbird, straight, reliable fade, most used off the tee. And then he's got a Sexy Bird, reliably overstable. Full Tilt, Meat Hook.
Yeah.
Rarely used, but has a nice for tricks. And then he's got a Metal Flake Sea Blend Emperors, Bomber Disc, Destroyer-esque. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Emperors are very good discs. I love Emperors.
Yeah.
Garrett Gurthie just came out with a new swirly run of his not too long ago. I think like last week. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Emperor.
Yep. So we will start out with the obligatory. The Viking. It is a
Viking?
Is a Viking disc. But I think one thing immediately that we can change in your bag is getting yourself a judge. So
What is the ruin? Is it beaded or is it?
Ruin is a beaded putter. So it It is an inferior judge. Is what it is. So I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
So Infinite's numbers has it as a 2400. So doesn't have finish like a judge does.
Yeah.
But it's beaded fairly shallow. No, just a kind of normal depth putter.
Okay.
And Infinite discs are always a little bit different. So the fade on it is a 0. So it's a 2401 from Viking, but it's a 2400 from.
Yeah, they always have like
They have their numbers that they do them by. So yeah, I mean, you definitely do better with a judge, but I guess the Ruin is okay. So, but if it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel happy. The Bergs, I'm all for Bergs. I love Bergs. The lack of glide in a Berg is fantastic, and the ability for a Berg to be thrown offline but still go straight is just it's great to me, with very little finish. So, and the Proxy for turnover putts, I've thrown the Proxy. The Proxy is really dumpy for me.
Oh, really?
Like not overstable dumpy, understable dumpy.
Oh.
Like I feel like it can't handle a lot of torque or a lot of spin.
I haven't thrown one. I know I've seen a couple in the shop. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like throwing the Envy, so it's probably just Envy's probably just a little more overstable.
Much more overstable.
Much more
I
overstable
think, than a Proxy. Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah. So.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And zones, of course. I mean, zones. I always encourage individuals to have, some sort of dumpy sidearm, and I think with something drives up to 250, like, seems like you got a decent arm because zones. They're hard to get out to that 250 range. I mean, for amateur arms.
Yeah. I mean, I can get on a zone pretty good for being a slower, overstable disc. I mean, yeah, I can get it out there on the Z. Like I have a Z. Is it Crystal? Yeah, Crystal Z Flex, which is I feel like it's a little more understable because it's pretty bendy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, much more so than like a regular Z or ESP.
Yeah, because we did that discs about when the culprit came out. We kind of compared the zone, the culprit, the suspect, the on and on. We did a bunch of those kind of overstable approach discs, and that was about the range. 300 feet was the max for all of those.
Sure.
Which I feel good about that. Like if I pull something like that out and I'm going to throw it 300 feet, pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
But I think the zone, the suspect, the tactic, razor claw, like they're about that 250, like a good, comfortable 90%, 85% throw.
Right.
Something you're not throwing 100% on.
Yep.
So I think that's about where it lives. So I love that. That Proxy, it's kind of like a deputy.
Okay.
So
pretty shallow.
I don't know. I don't remember the hand feel of it. I don't remember the depth of it. But I remember the flight was very similar to a deputy.
Okay.
Like a base plastic deputy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like the realm of putters you have here. If you use the Rune for a throwing putter, or are those what the Berg are for?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only question I have.
It says it's a putting putter. It must be a pretty,
Yeah, and he says it's an approach disc within 175 feet. And if he's using the zone as his throwing putter, I think that's the one thing the one in the putting realm that we should, or you should try to kind of explore and if it's a Rune, it's a Rune, but something, that throwing putter where you can actually put angles on it, like the zone, it's going to finish left.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Whereas if you had a Rune or a judge, it's not always going to finish left.
True.
You're going to get it to finish straight and flat. You're going to be able to turn it over if you want to, on harder throws. So longer, that 250 to 300 foot throws. So
Yeah.
I would look into a throwing putter, and my suggestion, selfishly, as a judge, but Envies, if you are into overmold stuff, Envies are fantastic throwers.
Yeah.
They're still going to finish left, though.
Yeah.
They're fairly overstable once you get it beat in, but it takes forever to beat them in. But once you get them beat in, beautiful straight flyer.
Yeah. And the Envy, depending on the plastic, their numbers always change. So like the Neutron, you're going to get like a -1. With the Plasma, you're going to have a 0, 2, or, it just changes with the plastic a little bit.
Right. Yeah, so that would be a suggestion for me. You want to go over the rest?
Yeah, so we got the VIP Tersus, and then he's got a Neutron Hex. neutral mid-range. And I like the Hex. The hand feel for me, it just seemed a little shallow, like compared to like a Buzz or, an EMAC Truth, something fairly neutral to me. So I haven't thrown it a lot, but I do like the disc. I just don't bag it. The Tersis is I think it's a really great understable mid. Dempsey has base plastic like a Regio, burst Regio, and then I had a Trinit one, and like I like the feel, but it's like one of those weird discs where I think it's a 6 speed, 5 or 6.
You've said that before, but I still think it's a 5.
Okay,
but
maybe it is.
Maybe a 6.
I don't know. I had one that I'm pretty sure, or maybe I'm thinking of a warship. I don't remember. I know I definitely had a warship that I thought it said 6, but the Tersis is great.
Underrated for sure.
Yeah, for my disc, understable, I like to throw the Origin Origin, like a Geo Origin or just a the Kyle Klein, like Midnight Pearls are good too. But yeah, I think I'm surprised you don't have like an overstable mid, but maybe that's what the Zone is as well. It's just that overstable slot for you. So like a Z Zone or, just flies as your neutral.
But I mean, he's got a stalker in there. The Z stalker. The stalker is, I mean, it's a fair way, but it's kind of like that, like the EMAC. I mean, EMAC and a stalker, like if I had each of those in my hand, it's like an FD and a EMAC. Like maybe I can get a little more distance out of an FD, but not much, you know. So a Tersis is
I have a feeling it's a 5.
Yeah, I feel like in my mind it's a 5, but
I think
it's a 5.
Okay, I think the warship, I was thinking it was like a 6 at one point.
So
whatever.
But I agree. I mean, like you're looking for something like the Justice, or are you thinking something like that, or are you thinking like Verdict,
like a Gator or something, or just a little more overstable that might get you like some skip or some dump, just something fight the headwinds a little more.
Little utility discs. Yeah, and I think a lot of people use the Zones for that.
Right,
I've seen people do that. So,
oh boy, your camera is powering down. But you only have 3%.
Yeah, so
show's over.
Oh, well, you'll have JP for the rest of it. You'll just have my voice. How did the battery run out? It was 100%. All right, so
older model
must be. So the Z Stalker. Oh, no more JP either.
No, I'm good. I'm
good.
Still about 40%.
Okay. So Z Stalker, and then he has a lift, understable long range fairway. So I'm assuming that's a 8 or a 9. The lift.
Yeah. There's some new ones that came in the shop. Wasn't there some glow ones or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what speed they were though.
I think it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, I've never thrown one of those. And then a Thunderbird. So I love Thunderbirds, the Germ Thunderbirds. I haven't spent a lot of time with, but when I had a faster arm, that Thunderbird was, I loved it. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic straight flyer with a good finish.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I replaced my PD with the Thunderbird.
Okay.
So,
okay. Yep. And then it looks like we got Sexton Firebird, reliably overstable. I don't think you can. And then the Vaporlux Full Tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It looks like it's just a fun disc that he keeps in his bag, because we're actually having this discussion because we're going to get Full Tilts and Cloud Breakers back in the shop. And it was one of the things I was joking with somebody, that this is a disc that no one needs.
Yeah.
Unless it's for a conversation, for having fun.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's what it is there. And the Sea Blend Emperor's Bomber disc, yeah. So I guess the only two other things that I see is I don't see this understable workable driver. Something like a bomber type style disc where you got a headwind behind you and you're going to just put it up in the air and let it work.
Yeah, like the Emperors, like the Metal Flick Emperors, their bomber discs, they're still pretty overstable.
Yeah. Well, they're destroyers.
Yeah. I mean, if you work it in, you're going to get a little more turn out of it. But yeah, I mean, I could see the lift. It's that 9. If that's all your arm can handle, there's no reason to go over anything,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So
I don't know well, for me, sometimes I feel like the Thunderbird and the Firebird are almost like pretty close, but like the Firebird definitely has more dump than the Thunderbird.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and G-Star Firebirds are actually kind of little cheat codes.
Yeah.
Almost. Like those G-Star Firebirds are actually really great discs. It's amazingly straight, and once you get them beat in, they finish straight. Like like I said, they're just little cheat code discs.
Yeah.
And you got to break them in, but G-Star is kind of it's like Blizzard. They kind of shun the plastic a little bit if they're more experienced players.
Right.
But man, you can do some stuff with those G-Stars. They have a great grip to them. So
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
They're flexy and nice.
But yeah, I think your bag's awesome. Like I said, I mean, there's a couple little spots that are missing, like that throwing putter, that good, torque resistant throwing putter that you can still, utilize for straight to finish right lines if you're backhand. And then looking like an understable, I feel that you looking for an understable driver. Not necessarily for roller lines, but something that you can put up or have it finish right. And then I think outside of that, I mean, everything else looks pretty good because the stalker is pretty workable and that fits within your fairways and long distance and control driver. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Anything else for you?
Yeah, just like you said, maybe something a little more understable at that faster like distance driver speed.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't you introduce the random question? I'm gonna go get a battery so we don't miss out too much of mine. So
all right. So this random question came to us from Ben Karowski. And Ben asked, what is the worst flavor of cake? Which I and we both immediately replied, carrot cake. Carrot cake is one of the worst flavors of cake that there could be.
And you guys are both wrong.
No, oh no. Vegetables do not belong in cake. That is terrible.
So I replied back when he sent me that.
Yeah.
I replied back that actually Julie's is slightly famous for our carrot cake.
Yeah.
And it is a different carrot cake. I love the carrot cake.
What do you mean different?
It's only 4%. It is a different carrot cake as far as what's in the ingredients. So it still has carrots and all that stuff. It doesn't have raisins, cream cheese frosting.
Who the heck raisins in cake?
There's always raisins in carrot cake, man. But
I've never seen raisins. That's why I don't eat it a lot. So anyway,
so the reason why I
this
say
is gonna last for a minute, by the way.
I noticed that.
Anyway,
but this is pretty cut and dry because when I tell you what cake is worse than a carrot cake, you're gonna be 100% for sure, like in agreement with me. Fruitcake.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So he tried to say it was carrot cake too, and I was like, there's like the bundt cake, angel food cake. I think is garbage.
Oh, I don't.
It's just like
I
it's like eating a sponge. There's not a lot of flavor to it. Like it's what you put on it that makes the flavor.
I guess.
And then there's fruitcake.
Yeah,
And I told him anything that you can pass along to generations is not.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh well.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, camera went out again. So you get JP's friendly face for the rest of this episode. And I'll figure out something before the next episode.
We might have to just go one single camera down at the end of the table.
I think we might have to.
Yeah.
Either that or I'll just have to plug this in while we're recording because it has a port to plug in.
Oh, okay.
So either way.
Anyway.
And then, because we take too long with stuff. That's why. So, all right. Yeah, so that's what I say. Fruitcake. Like I said, anything that is put in a tin and can be passed down year after year to different people and has you can do a full Olympic workout with it because it's so freaking heavy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, nothing.
No, I mean I said carrot cake.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of lemon poppy seed either.
Okay.
I like lemon flavor things, but just lemon and cake is just kind of and then poppy seeds just get stuck in your teeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they make you fail drug tests, and that's all.
They make you fail drug tests, really?
Yeah, poppy seeds. Yeah, they can pop.
Well, I can understand. I mean, I understand the origin, but
Yeah.
don't you have to eat a crud ton of poppy?
Yeah, quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just. It can.
All right. Well, so there you go.
Anyway.
For those of you that have,
Like I've known people to fail because they've had something with
Poppy
poppy
seed?
seeds. Yeah.
at least that's what they tell you.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. But
So public service announcement: do not eat poppy seed muffins or cake before you go for a
Yeah.
drug test. So, all right, shop updates. Are you ready? And we missed the camera, so I'm sorry about that. We'll figure it out, but we're still going to post this. Ben, do your thing. Just put like one of those happy faces.
yeah,
That's what we should do. Just like a really goofy looking happy face.
yeah.
Or take my face at one of the weirdest moments in this podcast and just plaster it up on
We
the screen.
can put the guy's face or the picture of the guy on the disc.
Perfect. Just, that Huck face right there. So shop updates. We have the FD3 in shop.
Metal Flake.
Metal Flake FD3s. We have white ones and blue ones, I believe, were the two colors that we had.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. And then we have the full tilt coming in. We have the cloud breakers coming in, which are
Just regular cloud breaker.
regular cloud
Yeah.
breakers. Yep. And then the kaleidoscope judges should be here real soon.
That.
They are Supreme line Halo or Raptor Eye
Yeah.
judges, where they have like this kaleidoscope stamp on them. They are
Ooh.
super cool looking, and I can't wait. Like, I'm super excited about them. And then we had, like I said, we did the shop update or the site update where you can search by manufacturer or by disc type. So super excited about that. Go on and try it out. Buy something. And then I'm debating whether or not to purchase the Iron Samurai 4s
Yeah.
because we still have 3s.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Samurais aren't ones that move. I'll probably buy some, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, how many different MD3s can you have?
Well, I know, because we have the stock run right now.
Yeah.
And then they have the Iron Samurai 3s, which the exact same disc, just the stamp was different.
Yeah. I mean, it's glow. The 3s are.
Oh, the 3s are glow. That's right.
Yeah, the color glow.
Yeah.
These new ones that are coming out apparently are going to be kind of like that luster plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Yeah, and that's beautiful plastic because it's the same plastic that Lat 64 used for the Explorers, and I think they had some Felons and some Emacs.
Yeah, I think you're
they
right.
called it Chameleon.
Let's see, like the chameleon plastic to me, isn't that like the metal plastic?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah.
But because maybe it was. I forgot what they called it.
There's something else, or this new stuff is called Chroma, maybe.
Chroma. Yeah, that's the new stuff was called Chroma from Discmania, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same exact plastic. Because I remember we had some Explorers, we had some Felons, we had some Emacs.
Yeah. I
forgot what it
I had a
was.
Glimmer Fury that was pretty cool, but I don't know
Glimmer. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
a Glimmer.
if that. The Glimmer isn't chameleon. It's just regular Glimmer, like
Right.
shimmer.
But it kind of almost bursts. It has almost like a burst
little
pattern to
bit.
it. Yeah. I think that's the same stuff that I'm
Okay.
talking about that I'm assuming these are.
Yeah, maybe.
So who knows if they are
maybe they're-
or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, so those are things we got coming in. So we'll see if we get the MD4s. If I do, obviously it'll be posted all over social media and every
Yeah.
other outlet that we have. But go on there, door_disc_golf, or throw at doordiscgolf.com, or night_owls_pod, and just leave us a question, leave us reviews, tell us if we should buy some MD4s. Whatever it is, just get on there, any podcasting platform, just hit us up and let us know how we're doing. Leave us some questions, show ideas.
Yeah, we got a couple more ratings the past couple of
We
days.
did? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because we got to wait for a few more ratings, and then we'll pick the winner that I'll pull from my private stash.
Oh, right. Yeah, forgot about that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then we're absolutely super close. I think we're within 30 people for the 1,000 follower giveaway for
nice.
the door_disc_golf.
Cool.
So we're almost there. And so we have that giveaway. We're going to have the review giveaway. So discs are going to come flying out. And then Bobby has gotten all the names for the Clash giveaway.
Nice.
So those will be going out to you guys. Man, we are just like Oprah. You get a disc. You get a disc. You get a disc. Speaking of everybody getting a disc,
What?
what about OnlyFans? Is everybody going to get a picture?
Maybe. A lot of discs.
I have a lot of D's
Yeah. D's.
or toes.
Toes.
Toes
D's
and
and T's.
D's and T's.
D's and T's.
All right then, D's and T's. Well, on that note, peace out.
out.
Keep it subpar.